They say good fences make good neighbors. But no one ever tells you what to do when your neighbor installs hidden cameras pointing straight at your home. I thought it was a misunderstanding. Then I found out the truth. And I wish I hadn't. It started on a quiet Monday morning. I was trimming the hedge along the side of my house when I noticed something strange sticking out from under my neighbor's gutter. A small black dome. It looked like a camera. At first, I brushed it off. Maybe it was for their backyard security. But later that evening, when I stepped outside for a walk, I noticed a red light blinking. It was pointed directly toward my kitchen window. The next morning, I knocked on their door. Mr. Dwyer, mid-60s, ex-military, always polite but distant, opened the door. "Hey, I couldn't help but notice the camera on your gutter," I said, trying to sound casual. He didn't flinch. "Oh, that? Just security. We've had some raccoon trouble," he smiled. But the way he said it, too smooth, too rehearsed. That night, I kept all the blinds closed, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. 2 days later, I got home from work to find my mailbox wide open and empty. I always get a daily package or bill, but there was nothing. The flag was still up. Then I noticed a second camera, this time near his garage, angled directly at my driveway. Now I was getting nervous. Why two cameras pointed only at my property? I installed motion lights. I called the post office. Nothing seemed out of place officially, but it felt wrong. That Friday, my dog wouldn't stop barking at the fence. I went outside and saw a small piece of wiring sticking out of the ground near the boundary line. I dug a little and uncovered a third camera, buried, hidden, on my side of the property. I called the police. They came, took a statement, but said since it wasn't clearly on my land, and since there were no recordings available yet, it wasn't criminal. I was furious. I asked Mr. Dwyer again. He said, "Better safe than sorry." But this time, his voice was cold. Not polite, not neighborly. That night, I couldn't sleep. At around 1:13 a.m., my security light triggered. I looked out and saw Mr. Dwyer at the fence line, digging, wearing gloves, carrying a small duffel bag. I hit record on my phone through the window. He buried something in the flower bed, on my side. I waited till morning, dug it up. It was a USB drive, sealed in a Ziploc. I didn't open it. I called my cousin, an IT specialist, and told him what happened. He agreed to analyze it. The USB had footage, hours and hours of recorded video, all from the 3 cameras. It showed me, in my backyard, my living room through the window, me leaving for work, me walking my dog. But it also had something else, footage of Mr. Dwyer sneaking into other people's yards. At night, he had set up more than just cameras. He had placed listening devices. We were part of a full surveillance setup. Turns out, Mr. Dwyer was a former intelligence officer, retired from a controversial private defense contractor. And now, he was paranoid, or maybe hiding something. One clip showed him meeting someone late at night in a black car. They exchanged something. It was blurry, but definitely real. My cousin suggested I turn it in, so I did. To the FBI. Within a week, unmarked cars appeared on our street. Mr. Dwyer vanished. No goodbye, no moving truck. Just gone. His house was listed for sale under a shell company. The police never gave me details, but one officer quietly told me, "You did the right thing. You might have helped stop something bigger." Now, months later, I still check every corner of my yard, every blinking light, every motion, because I learned the hard way. Sometimes the threat next door isn't just nosy neighbors or barking dogs. Sometimes it's surveillance. and secrets. And if you find a camera pointed at your window, don't just cover it. Find out why it's there.